Hey guys, welcome to another episode of What It Takes to Be a Writer. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing the differences between a plotter versus a pantser. Okay, but first, my disclaimer, like always. The following is a combination of my opinions and thoughts, as well as research that I've conducted over the internet. It's not a fact. And if you disagree with anything that I say, that's totally okay. And we can both still sleep peacefully at night. Awesome. Okay, so this episode is really about writing styles. There's no no. There's no wrong way to write a book. There's no one right way to write a book. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. There are, however, different classifications or groupings of writing styles. So this is not really super important. It's just fun to know what kind of a writer you are and how, what best suits you. So maybe you're the type of writer that's going out to try multiple styles. I've tried out multiple styles to see what best suits me. And now I use a morphed version that works best for me. And that's what this is really about. It's about identifying the writing style and the methodology that works best for you. Something to clarify when I discuss writing styles, I'm really referring to being a plotter or a pantser, nothing more. So a pantser is someone who gets a story idea and just starts writing. They let the story lead them. They respond to the nudging of their muse. They can write a story from the beginning to the end with no more than a concept in their head. Oftentimes, they'll talk about not really knowing where they're going with the story because they're letting the characters lead them. Basically, they're writing by the seat of their pants, hence the moniker pantser, right? Okay. A plotter is someone who will map out their story, just like we're taught to map out essays in school. They develop an outline for their story, and then they write based on that outline. So they know from jump exactly where the story is going and how they're going to get there, hence the moniker plotter, because they plot everything that is related to their story. Okay, so there are pros and Jeez, I just can't talk today. Okay, there are pros and cons to both of these writing styles. And it's also possible to be somewhere in the middle by combining features of both of these styles. And I have experience writing both of them. I wrote my first book as a pantser. It was super fun. It felt nice being able to just go however I wanted to go with my story. I've been very intimidated by my transcript though, because I think partially because it's just like a lot of writing, partially because it was my very first book, and also because it turned out to not have a lot of structure to it. So it still sits on the shelf as a raw manuscript that someday I will complete and publish. Okay, I've also written as a plotter. That's the book that I actually did publish, The Serpent's Tongue. It was plotted. It felt much more manageable to me. Of course, it's also only 10,000 words versus my first book that clocks in at over 60,000 words. So that might have something to do with it. I tried both methods of writing before blending them to meet my personal individual needs. So now, today, I sit in the middle, or maybe a little to the left. I like to create an outline for my stories. You guys know that. And I also like to write the ending of my story before I get started because I like to have a direction. I want to know where I'm going when I start my journey. It's sometimes hard for me to start out if I feel like I don't have direction. That's also true about me when I go for a walk. I have to have an end goal in mind. I'm not just gonna aimlessly wander or go explore. It's like, this is where I start, this is where I end, let's go. So I'll also create character bios so that I have fully fleshed out characters. That way, as the story continues, I know what my characters are gonna do and how they're going to act or respond to any given situation. I don't want to write a scene for a character and have them throw my reader by acting completely out of turn or behaving against themselves. So on top of that, oftentimes I'll write out major plot points, just the major hit points in the process. So if there's going to be a fight, or even if there's if there's an event that the character has to overcome, I'll write out a summary of how that's going to go down and how I visualize its effects on the characters involved. So I don't like write out the scene. I'm still going to let those scenes come about organically in the story, but I have a pit stop thought on my way to the ending. So it becomes like a connect the dots style of writing. And that works for me. I'm not supposed to let my story go a different. Okay. Though I am not opposed to letting my story go a different direction if the mood strikes me, or if my muse encourages me to go a different direction than what I had originally have planned. I like to be flexible, because maybe what I originally thought at the beginning now feels limited. And in writing, you never want to feel limited. Ever. Okay. You're the master of the universe. And here is where you get to do whatever you want to do. You are limitless and you're without restrictions. Okay. So, like everything else, it's important to figure out which one of these is really like works for you. It can be one, the other, a conglomerate of both, whatever works for you. So, get out there and write, try it, see what fits. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. These, again, are just guidelines to help you on your way, not hinder you. Because, again, remember, you're the master of your universe and you have zero restrictions. So, these are guidelines, not rules.